Please vote no on EE. Money's not going to preschool for at least 2 years, if ever. And this floor price is just massively anti-competitive, and it really hurts our Colorado consumers.
Out of all the things on this fall's ballot, Prop EE, by my estimation, is the most bigoted, hateful initiative on there. Actually, it was referred by the legislature. It is a tobacco tax, for the kids, but really what it is an attack not only on smokers, but on poor people and people with a lifestyle you don't really like. Someone who has a lifestyle I do like is Mary Szarmach, who's with Smoker Friendly. If you don't know Smoker Friendly, they are a spectacular Colorado-based company that makes cigars and cigarettes and sell all sorts of products, including the one you just gave me, which was an Ipaca.
From our Rocky Mountain Cigar Festival virtual bag this year, one of our manufacturers, yes.
What I love about Smoker Friendly is the pride you guys have in the lifestyle. That if you're a smoker, instead of this, oh, poor woe is me, I need to stop. It's like, no, we're smokers. We're out of the closet, and we're proud, and so we're going to be friendly to smokers.
Absolutely, says it in our name. So that's what we try to do. We're a family business, as you mentioned, 5-generation Colorado family. 3 generations work in the business, including my 86-year-old dad still works every day. In Boulder, we're located, your favorite other topic. But I think, our family motto is we were there first, so now we just stay there to irritate everyone.
I love it. All right, let's dive into Prop EE.
Okay.
It sounds so very good. We're going to tax evil smokers and therefore save their lives. Those poor, stupid bastards can't save their own. And we're going to use that money to educate young kids and help with preschool, which is one of Jared Polis's promises, which all-day preschool. What could be wrong with this? And for people who aren't smokers, they're not going to pay a dime. So you get to tax somebody else and feel sanctimonious about it because you're saving their lives at the same time.
Well, that could be a thought process. I guess first and foremost that is important to know that is Governor Polis's promise. But as it's written, for the first 2 years, no money goes to preschool. Most of the money goes to the giant black hole that the legislature gets to use, the general fund.
All right, so this is, it's not going to where it says it's going to go. What do you think?
At least not to start.
For 2 years. By the way, in general terms, before we dive down into this, you're already taxed. Your product is wildly taxed. We call it a sin tax, and we want to stop people from buying your product, so we're going to tax it out of existence. By the way, rich people don't have a problem with this because they can handle it. Poor people, it really affects their lifestyle if this is what they choose to do. How much money does tobacco bring into the state versus the other vices?
Well, in 2018 to 19, 19 to 20 obviously has not come out yet, but that fiscal year for the state, the excise tax on cigarettes and tobacco products was over $200 million. And keep in mind, we only have about 14% of the adult population in Colorado that use those products. Liquor, beer, and wine, I'm not sure what the adult population is that uses that product.
132%.
I know I do my fair share. I know you do your fair share. But they brought in about 40 million.
That speaks so strongly to how beat up smokers are. Yes. So the 14% of Colorado that are smokers bring in $200 million into the government. The massive amount of people who enjoy liquor, which has got to be 80% plus, I've got to assume, bring in $40 million. That
quite a disparity.
It all. Well, what it says to me, it's a story of the diverse interest versus very, very small interest. You're a minority interest, we're easy to beat you up. One thing, when we vote on taxes on hotels, we don't pay that. Those stupid foreigners come in and do it, and rental cars and things like that. And smokers, you're taxing somebody else. And what bothers me the most about this, I'll get off my high horse in a second, is that we're beating up on people because of their lifestyle. And their lifestyle is is who they are. It's what they've chosen. If we tax people based on the religion they chose or their sexual identity or their sexual practices, people would rightly say that's hateful. But now we have 14% of the population, and we are continue to beat them up. What they do in the privacy of their own home. It is so hateful. And it bothers me that civil libertarians, people who've done such great work fighting for the civil liberties of people with lifestyles you might not like or religious views you might not like, are the ones piling on to beat up people with this lifestyle. And my final comment on it is, and the effective tax rate is so amazing. So according to the Colorado Department of Revenue, people who make over 200 compared to people who make 15 grand and under, the people on the rich pay the same amount of taxes as people on the other end, all through the scale. People smoke the same in all these brackets. The idea that poor people smoke more is a lie. We all smoke about the same, it looks like. But the people on this end, the lower end, pay an effective rate of 51 times, not 51%, 51 times more than the people on this other end. So not only are you beating up people for their lifestyle, you are beating up on the poor.
I guess, and it is still a legal commodity that is, as you mentioned, highly taxed, highly regulated. And so as long as it's an adult commodity that's legal, I don't think they should be beat up on and have tax poured on the back of other taxes and just continue to tax. So it's a mess.
What does Prop EE do? What does it add to a tax of cigarettes and vaping products?
So vaping products are at a 0%. And I will say, as a company and as an industry, we brought to the legislature the last several years. We said, you ought to tax these products at a reasonable amount, similar to other tobacco products in the state, because they are a nicotine substance and they should pay their fair share. That never went anywhere until this 1420 came out of the legislature at the 7th hour at the end of our COVID session. So anyway, that will go to, it's going to be kind of taxed in at smaller rates and meet where OTP is. So other tobacco
OTP?
products
Other tobacco products.
are at 40% and will move to 62% if EE was to pass.
Let me stop there. So basically, when I buy a tobacco product,
Yes.
it's taxed now at about 40% for the state. And now it's going to go up to 60% tax.
62.
62%
Of the
tax.
manufacturer's list price.
That's obscene. I don't know of anything else, any other legal commodity in Colorado that's taxed at 62% because we hate these people with a lifestyle we don't understand and don't respect and think is perverse. My God, if we treated the gay community the way we treat the smoking community, people would be rioting, and rightfully so.
Yeah. Interesting, because recreational marijuana is taxed on a percentage like that, the excise tax. It's at 15%. Another good comparison.
Wow. All right.
So vaping will go into the other tobacco, but it will go in a little bit per year for 7 years. It'll start at 20% and they'll phase it in. And then on cigarettes, we're currently at $8.40 a carton state tax. That does not include the federal tax. And we will move to an $18 increase per carton. So we'll be at $26.40 per carton, or $2.64 a pack.
$26 of a carton of cigarettes, and that's what, 10 packs? Is taxes.
$26.40 plus the $10.20 federal tax. So it'll be $36.50 is taxes.
You buy a carton of cigarettes, you're paying nearly $40 on taxes alone because we think you're a disgusting person with a perverse lifestyle and we want to drown you out. I think it's so wrong. The other thing that I find amazing is that, they cost more in healthcare. Well, not actually. Because I hate to say it, you smokers die sooner and actually save us a lot of money in healthcare. All right, before we run out of time, the real evil, as if that wasn't enough, is the price floor in this. Tell me about this.
Okay, so it came out again out of the legislature, as I mentioned earlier. So in 1420, that became Proposition EE. There's a minimum floor price on cigarettes at $7 per pack and $70 per carton. There's no such thing as this anywhere else in the United States, and we do business in 7 states. So I'm pretty familiar.
For those who don't know, you have, I'm going to call them discount cigarettes.
Yes.
You have your own brand of cigarettes, just like King Soopers has the Kroger brand and Costco has the Kirkland brand, and they're much cheaper for those people at the lower end of the scale. They're much, much cheaper.
Yes.
And under this, it raises the price to a floor. You know, so while people are trying to make their bills, the government is increasing what you have to pay up to a minimum.
Minimum price, yep, and it'll be even, you won't be able to promote below that or anything. If EE were to pass, every pack of cigarettes, whether it be a value price like RSF or Eagle 20s or several other brands, would have to be at a minimum of $7. Most of those on the market right now are at about $3.50.
So double the price of budget cigarettes.
Yes.
So imagine going to King
So the
Soopers.
consumer's a big loser.
Yeah. So imagine going to King Soopers and every Kroger brand product is doubled in price when this passes.
Right.
That's what's going on.
Yep.
So let me ask you this question. If my Kroger brand crushed tomatoes are now the same price as the premium tomatoes, why would I ever buy these?
You wouldn't. And it makes no sense because, you know, we were supposed to be a free capitalistic economy last time I checked, but probably the most heart-wrenching piece of this for me, being in the industry, is this very piece was put into 1420 and then Proposition EE by our governor and Big Tobacco together in cahoots to hurt small business and to hurt our Colorado consumers.
I wish you the best of luck on this fight. It is so wrong on every level, unless, of course, you just enjoy beating up people and telling them how to live their lives. And if you hate the poor. And this is what I find so amazing, is that every group that is wrapping themselves around this, you know, the Bell Policy Center and all the fiscal institutes and all the groups that care about the poor are the ones beating them up with this. Mary, keep the fight going.
Thanks, John. It's always a pleasure.
If you enjoyed that conversation, by all means, click one of these other great programs. We have the best conversations with the most fascinating Coloradans. And subscribe to our channel. Just click down below and hit that little bell button too. You don't want to miss a single show.